Have you seen stuff like this on the internet? Me too. And a lot of them sound the same. No more trauma, multi-millions of dollars in your bank account. Are these claims true? I spend a lot of time on Instagram every single day looking at people's offers, seeing what these coaches, a lot of times they call themselves coaches, or experts, what they offer and how they make money. And I think it's time for a new segment called Offer Audit. So this is the first ever episode of this series, and my intention here is to go through different Boss Babe offers. And Boss Babes in my world include online coaches, spiritual healers, energy healers, business gurus, whatever. Big and small, I would love to start looking at these offers more in depth on a variety of different creators. And not just women, I call them Boss Babes, but men can be Boss Babes too, okay? Let's get started with episode 1. We're gonna look at someone named Monica Yates. So for this, I need to get my headphones on because we're going to hear what Monica has to say. We're only going to go into one of her offerings. If this video does well and we like it, then I will go into more of her offerings. She's got a lot. Let's just say that. She's got a lot to offer. She's got an in-person event coming up, and then also she's got a lot of on-demand classes. Now, I came across her account first on Instagram. She holds herself up as some sort of like relationship expert, I guess. But recently I've seen a little bit of a change, and now it seems like she's moving more into the trauma space, which, you know, is a little problematic for me. So I figured we would start today with one of her offerings, one of her, I guess, most popular offerings, or the one that she's been talking about lately, called Queen Alchemy. Turn your life back on, discover your own pleasure, and upgrade your wealth frequency. What is the comparison between wealth frequency and core frequency? Now, obviously, you can see this picture at the top is a close-up of what looks like her female region. Okay, let's look at what's included. You get 7 120 minutes, which is 2 hours, group Zoom calls where we will be doing all the healing, trauma release, embodiment practices, and QA time. Additional group calls will be revolved around specific trauma topics. Wonderful. A sacred Telegram group. So not a regular Telegram group. It's a sacred one. All my brain-changing reprogramming tracks to quantum leap your growth. Energy healing, trauma work, embodiment practices. Nervous system regulation and expansion. Quantum leaping. Just people jumping through space. So to wrap it up, it's an online group that's 7 weeks long and meets on Zoom, and there seems to be some pre-recorded material you get access to as well. The big question, how much is it? The program is $4,444. Split payments are available, $2,222 for 2 months. One-on-one sessions are $666. If recommended. Very interesting spirit numbers there. That's 666 for a one-on-one. Satan, hello? Is that you? And please know my prices are based on the value of the transformation. You are worth this money, and you really can't put a price tag on your dream life. I can put a price tag on Zoom calls and access to a sacred Telegram, though. And it's not $4,444. I'm sorry. Now let's watch a video of her explaining the program.
Hello, beautiful woman, and I am so happy that you are looking at joining Queen Alchemy. So Queen Alchemy is a 7-week program of mine that is unlike anything else out there. I made it years ago before it became like all the rage to be doing trauma stuff and sex stuff and femininity.
I love how we live in a world now where doing trauma stuff is all the rage. I mean, she's not wrong. I agree. It's everywhere now. Every coach is a trauma expert, which I find deeply, deeply concerning. However, I think it's a little funny that she's claiming like, I am the original boss babe who took advantage of women's trauma. Okay, don't get it twisted.
I made Queen Alchemy years ago because a client literally was needing to feel safer, to be really sexy and unleash her inner slut.
I'm sorry, her inner what?
Yeah.
Oh. Is this something that women are wanting from online courses?
Queen Alchemy is 7 weeks long. It is so hard to put into words. All of my work is very hard to put into words. Like my immersion, I can't put it into words. Queen Alchemy can't put it into words. The man can't put it into words.
Red flag number 1. If you can't put into words what your offer is, you probably need to work on your offer. Especially when we're talking about trauma, she's not a therapist. You need to put into words what people are going to be experiencing, especially if you're trying to appeal to people who have a traumatic past or a traumatic event they're trying to overcome. I don't appreciate people who don't have a license to lose doing this kind of work, especially online. I would assume that the customers she is trying to attract are people who are vulnerable to being taken advantage of.
There's no like professional names, my modalities. It's all come through intuitively, and it was a gift that I've been given. And actually, my name means to advise and counsel. So it's definitely innate within me.
So there's really no need for her to go make sure that she's acting in an ethical way. Intuitively, something bigger than human beings and traditional trainings have given her the gifts to do this. And of course, she's deciding to charge a large amount of money for this. So red flag number 2.
The people that should not join Queen Alchemy, the women that should not join Queen Alchemy, are those of you that are still in your victim mentality. Those of you that want just like kind of a quick fix or are hoping that I can just like press a button and you're done, don't join Queen Alchemy. The thing with Queen Alchemy is that because it's obviously online, whilst that's amazing because then you get to join from all around the world, it also means that you have to be willing to put in the work and to show up.
Show up and put in the work. I don't know what that means. Every online coach, business coach uses those terms because they're so vague. If you're unhappy at the end, they can just say, well, you didn't put in the work. It's like I did every assignment. We didn't put in the right work, the right effort for the work, and you didn't show up in the way that you needed to. What does that actually mean? We'll never know. And I really hate people who say victim mentality. It sounds more like victim blaming to me than anything.
So if you are someone that's like, I'm going to put my fucking wall up, I would do one of my in-person immersions and then do Queen Alchemy after. They complement each other very, very well.
So what she's saying here is first, spend thousands of dollars on my in-person event. Then you'll be qualified and able to spend thousands of dollars for this online container. How lucky we are.
Thursday at 4 p.m. EST, New York time, it's where I live, we have our 2-hour group healing call. So this is for everybody to come to, and there's a recorded version of it in case you're at work when you can't make it or whatever. But make sure you do the fucking recorded call, right? If you don't do the recordings, I can't help you. So that's every Thursday at 4 p.m. Then in addition to that, we have 14 mini trauma calls.
This terminology is a big turnoff for me.
And basically, these little calls, you can come to as many of them as you want to. You can pick and choose. The list is on the website. Just scroll down below and you'll see it. And these 14 calls are on different topics. So you can come to the ones where you're like, oh yeah, I need this. And in these calls, we do all the trauma healing and the embodiment work and the release work and the recoding. We do all of that in that 1 hour call. 1
hour? You're going to do all of that? I don't know how you can promise trauma healing in a group setting on Zoom in an hour on a Thursday at 4 p.m.
You need to come live because otherwise, I do it for a reason. Otherwise, everyone just do the fucking recordings and they won't do the recordings. So the reason why I do this is not because I'm being a bitch. The reason why I'm doing this is for your own benefit because I want you to tell your boss, I need an hour break here, or I need to go home earlier. I'm going to come into the office late. You need to stand in your worth and say that so that you get the results. Because if you keep just being like, I'll do the recording, it's you not prioritizing yourself because you're not going to do the fucking recording.
I know it's cool to not be professional nowadays, but it feels like I'm talking to like a girl in high school that's, bullying me or something, or about a group project. Like, you're not going to do the fucking recording. It's like, okay, all right, sorry, Jesus.
Then we have a Telegram group, which is like a WhatsApp group, right? So in the Telegram group, you can ask questions, you can share your wins. I will put in things like journal prompts and little chicken nuggets for you guys to just be vibing with all the time.
Chicken nuggets? What?
So it's a very immersive 7 weeks and it's full fucking body. It is mind, body, and soul. It is every single part of you will be healed.
That is a very bold statement.
Parts of you that didn't know you needed to be healed, those parts are going to be healed. I am going to find things in you that you didn't know that you had. There is limited availability for one-on-ones, but you can get a one-on-one if you would like one, or if I have told you that you need one based on your intake form.
Hello? Is that you?
Not everybody needs a one-on-one, but depending on the level of trauma and what you've dealt with and whatnot, I know whether people need a one-on-one to get the results or whether they're going to be fine in the group calls.
How would you know that? Intuitive gifts, I guess, is the answer, which to me is not a real answer. That is I've decided in my own mind I'm qualified for this.
So whether it is, physical things that you need to fix, like you're missing your period or you have endo or you can't fall pregnant. I mean, look at testimonials. Every woman's fallen fucking pregnant. I've gotten every period back.
Wait, what? Every woman's pregnant that has done this course? Here are some screenshots that are on the bottom of the website. This one says, and just like that, another pregnancy. And then she shows a screenshot, I guess, from one of her clients that says, hello, not sure if you remember me from our one-on-one. I was in Queen Alchemy. After our one-on-one that month, I fell pregnant. ... So happy. I'm now 9.5 weeks pregnant and could not be happier. Thank you. And then Monica puts her own comment at the bottom and says, don't know what other proof you need to know that I'm kind of magical. This one says, OMFG, another pregnancy has been announced. That's 3 women magically pregnant in 1 round of QA. 7 weeks, that's it. The 8th round. I'm pretty sure we've had a pregnancy every round, but 3? Wow. And of course, as usual, we had periods return, cycles go to normal length, PMS disappear, and all the trauma healing. And here's another post with Monica. Another pregnancy. My mind is blown, but it's also a common thing to happen with working with me, so I'm also not surprised. I thought we were talking about trauma healing, which I'm already against. Now we're talking about falling pregnant. You're going to make people get pregnant. So people with infertility issues, let's target them. People with endometriosis, we're going to target them too. You're missing periods. This lady, this random woman on the internet is going to heal you? Oh no, Monica, no. Red flag.
Well, whatever it is, this program is going to help you. If you think, is this program for everybody? It's for everybody. I honestly feel like every woman needs to do Queen Alchemy. Every man needs to do the man, right? Queen Alchemy is just women.
When something is meant for everyone, it's probably meant for no one in particular.
Every woman needs to do Queen Alchemy, because the thing with my work is that it will pull things out of you that you didn't know you had, but once they're gone, you're like, holy shit, that was what was stopping me from X, Y, and Z or keeping me back from ABC. But I had no idea it was there. So I never would have gotten rid of that if I didn't do this work. So
to me, that sounds like implanting false memories. This is something that has been discussed a lot with Teal Swan. These trauma healers, they can tell you, oh, I know intuitively that you had this event when you were a baby, or you had this event when you were a child, or even as a young adult, but you're repressing it. And I know that you have this issue, and now I'm going to heal it from you. Another red flag.
The way that I format my work is getting rid of all of the deep trauma that's stopping you from being easily embodied in your confidence, in your self-worth, in that sex appeal, lighting up the room. We heal all of that trauma shit first. Like, we rip you into shreds so that you can then build from there.
No, absolutely no. I'm out. No. I mean, I was never in to begin with, but rip you to shreds to build you back up. Okay, are we going on a Colombian retreat or something? Like, this is not the type of thing that is ethical in any universe.
Then we do the fun stuff like the sensual eating, the lap dances, all the embodiment work. And we really get into our feminine energy once we've done that trauma healing first.
First, trauma heal. Second, lap dance.
I'm just so excited to have you on this amazing journey.
Let's jump back in and dive a little deeper into her sales page. So there's a lot of different questions here that, would appeal to a wide variety of people, but some of them that stuck out to me. Are you sick of being seen as innocent? Are you sick of being seen as innocent? Do you want to attract manifestations out of thin air? Do you have some childhood wounds that you haven't worked on or haven't fully cleared? Were you told that your top was too low cut or your skirt too short? And here's another red flag, a wide variety of physical ailments that she is apparently going to be healing. Anxiety, insecurities, bloating, IBS, avoidance, depression, self-critical thoughts, fears, TMJ, etc. will go away. Wow. Again, huge claims here. A bunch of testimonials, as she said. Okay, let's read some of them. You're the only coach I spent so much on, but I deserved it, and you deserve it, because working with you is like a healthy, sustainable relationship and not a one-night stand. It's also like prostitution because I pay you for your services. If you're thinking about the investment, don't. It will be quickly forgotten as soon as you get across the program. My deepest and heartfelt gratitude goes out to Monica and the team. She is transforming a generation of women, and I dare say it won't be too long before this intimate access to her becomes limited. I don't think so, Olivia. I think she appreciates more thousands of dollars that come through the door. Now let's see the frequently asked questions section. I was in a previous round of Queen Alchemy. Can I join the trauma calls? Yes, you can join one call for $297 or 4 calls for $997. You'll have access to these recordings for the duration of the program. Once over, access will be removed. Wow, that is steep for some recorded Zoom calls. What kind of trauma healing methods will be used and how deep can they go? 80% of the healing is somatic healing modalities and 95% is made up by me. That math ain't mathing, as they say. I've been using them for 2 to 4 years, depending on when I made them up. Okay? They're all channeled through me and I vet them with my extensive knowledge of trauma and how the body and mind are involved in holding and releasing trauma. Okay, so she channels them. So source energy, God, essentially, is telling her how to do these modalities. And then she vets them to make sure that they're up to her standards, okay? Just to make sure that I'm not giving her any grief where it doesn't belong. Let's just make sure what her qualifications are. So I went to the About section. Okay, so she is Monica Yates. I'm a trauma healer, which is a term that I could use about myself. I am also a trauma healer. I'm not, but neither is she. There's no official credentials for trauma healer. Embodiment coach for men and women. Again, meaningless term. And period whisperer. I don't even know what that could possibly mean. The idea of seeing patients clinically for nutrition or psychology didn't feel like it would really change someone's life, so I made up my own thing. I started my bachelor and certification and started heavily researching everything to do with physical, emotional, and mental health. My Saturday nights became about PubMed and less about tequila. Okay, well, it doesn't sound like she got the degree or certified in anything, because she made up her own thing. She's got her whole life story. There's lots and lots of words. It's about her period and having a boyfriend and healing herself and her trauma. Okay, I want to see this. This is part that I thought, like, okay, some certifications. Internationally certified trauma and recovery practitioner. It's called the International Association of Therapists. However, if you look a little closer, all of the therapies that they are talking about they use therapy very lightly. For example, life coaching, life alignment, longevitology, live blood. I don't know what any of this is, but it is not traditional therapists. Let's just say that. So let's recap. It's $4,444. It's 7 weeks long. It's fully online. She is not certified in anything that should be dealing with trauma or trauma therapy or psychology. Fantastical, amazing, magical claims that I don't think she can back up. Overall, I think it's way overpriced. I think she has no qualifications that are relevant. I think she's making way too serious of claims. I think a potential customer who has a huge trauma that they are avoiding and then spending over $4,000 trying to get it healed through Zoom by this unqualified person, they could be in danger in the sense of they're not potentially going to get the right treatment or be sent to the right place if there is a dangerous situation or a threat to their safety in any way. On the plus side, I guess it seems like, 7 weeks is better than like a 1-day seminar. Overall, I would say I rank this a 4 out of 10. Several red flags. If you're interested in something like this, go to therapy, traditional therapy, even if it hasn't worked for you in the past. My thing is always, in a group call, you're going to be listening to the leader. You're not going to be speaking your own story into existence. If you're in therapy, it's cheaper than $4,000 for 7 weeks, I guarantee you that. And you'll be able to actually talk to someone and get feedback about your specific issue with someone who has expertise in psychology and is ethically bound to not re-traumatize you through the process of therapy. Doesn't that sound better than throwing a bunch of money and hoping that you turn out trauma-free by the end? Yes, to me, yes, that does sound much, much better. And that's always my suggestion. go into therapy. Even with all the problems that we have with therapy in this country and in this world, it's still better to try to get in somewhere than to give your money to a charlatan like this, in my humble opinion. All right, queens. Well, I will see you later, and let me know what offers you would like me to look at next. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.